Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It is Monday. It's Columbus Day, October 13, 2014. Stock futures are moving off their overnight lows. If you were following Twitter or reading some of the bearish articles this week, and you would have thought this morning we would open to limit down stock futures, but that hasn't been the case. We had the pullback early in the session when it opened last night, and it's been rallying ever since. We're in actually positive territory. On Friday, we had that strong pullback into the close. Waterfall type sell-off as investors and traders were gearing up for additional downside, and so far it hasn't happened. We'll see if this rally's got a little more legs to it than what we're seeing so far. This could be just another one of these bounces. We've seen a lot of bounces. We had a fabulous intraday reversals. We've had nasty reversals of 300-point up days for the Dow Jones Industrial Average and 300 points to the downside. So it's certainly been a volatile a couple weeks after we've hit record highs, and go back to it's been, it's a sell-off. It's a pullback. It's profit taking. So whatever you want to call it, we hit all-time highs, and the selling is continuing, and then it's kind of really picked up steam the last week and a half or so. So we'll see if this bounce has any legs, or if it's just another bounce that's going to get sold down. If you look from a chart perspective, here's a 9-month chart of the S&P 500 ETF. This is the Abenomics trend line I've been talking about for many, many moons. Has been broken officially. We came back up to it last week. To kind of give it a kiss and possibly say goodbye to it forever, absent a massive rally to the upside this week. It looks like we can officially kiss that trend line goodbye, and we're going to have to look, if we're a bull here, to see what kind of pattern will develop where we can get back to record levels. Look at that candle to the downside. It's a 5-year, it's a weekly chart. So that candle certainly is not pretty, but if you want to start to look at something as possible bullish, from a bullish perspective, would be that we haven't been as oversold in quite a long time. Look at the RSI starting to really dip, and if we even pull in just on a 2-year daily chart, you can see how oversold we are. And the last time we were kind of this oversold was back in August, when we reversed a nasty sell-off, and S&P 500 futures actually dipped pretty low. I remember back in August they reversed course overnight, just like they did here today. So, I'm not saying that we've reached the bottom or anything, but what I am saying is each time we've pulled back and the relative strength index has gotten this oversold, we've had a nasty snapback, and since 2009, it's resulted in new record stock prices. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, the trend lines aren't looking so good. The NASDAQ to QQQ also broke out of the broadening descending wedge for the tech wreck 2014, and we're back near those oversold levels for the QQQ. Been a really nice pullback, and then finally this candle that we had on Friday was just a kind of a punctuation mark. So we'll see where it's short-term support there, support at about the 94 level, and I would look at the selling the stop somewhere around here, worst case at about the 90-60 level. That is the QQQ. And if you want to look at the bond market, TLT, which tracks the 20-year bond ETF, it's the 20-year bond ETF, broke through 120. It is over 120. It's over the 119.50. So this is very bullish. But I played it for a pullback. I was able to lock in some profits on the 119s as we dropped on the Fed minute day on Wednesday down to 118.50, and we have reversed course and looking good for a breakout to new record highs for TLT. In spite of the higher interest rates everybody expects, the theme continues to baffle the bond pundits, and everybody's calling for interest rates to start to rise. But yet here we go. Somehow bonds are rallying in spite of this impending move up in interest rates. So we're above long-term resistance. Is now acting as support here at 119.50. Maybe we'll come back down to kiss it, like we did for the SPY Abenomics trend line. But we're going to look for higher prices here in the short, medium, and longer term. VXX has been bouncing. Nice candle on Friday. It's down 2%. There was some post over the weekend talking about the VIX as well. And each time, and let's just pull up the VIX, and I'll show you each time that we've spiked like this. Now this is heading into the close on Friday. We had a nice move up over 20. But look at this. Look how high we were back in the start of the year. And these spikes to the upside in the volatility index usually mark some sort of bottom in the marketplace. This is the fear index over at CNN, Market Watch, whoever runs that thing, is at 1, the lowest possible level. Which to me, if something's at the lowest possible level, the highest amount of fear in the market, you would expect stock futures to be limit down. Everybody would be selling, but it's not the case. So the VIX is somewhat reliable. We do see these panic pops to the upside, and they always, since the lows in 2009, reverse. So we'll see. We get that. We're almost up near the highs that we saw back at the start of the year when we started to pull back. And what happened after that? Stock prices rallied to record levels, and the VIX dropped to lows we haven't seen in, 7 years or something like that. Everybody's talking about, oh my goodness, the VIX, it's so low, it's dangerous. Well, it did. That low kind of marked a time when you could have been locking in profits. But even heading up into August, when we did pull back, we hit record levels here when the VIX was at 12. And then this move up here to 21, 24 on the VIX. We'll see what happens here today. It's going to be pulling back, that's for sure. The question is, how far have we peaked on the VIX here? This might be the top for the VIX for the rest of the year, which would possibly mean we're going to hit record levels, which not too many people are calling for these days. Everybody's looking for a significant downside. I see articles and posts talking about us. We're in a bear market now. Sell everything. Okay, sell everything. Where are you going to put it into? Bond market that continues to defy logic and offers pretty much no yield. You could put it into dividends yielding stocks. So anyway, let's just look at Apple, which just continues to consolidate here and looks poised to break out. Carl Icahn says it's a $200 stock. Hey, I'll say 120, 125, 130. We'll see. And again, and that's short term. I think longer term, we could be looking over $200 stock. I talked about this numerous times, how we're in the third wave up for the stock. And so we're just at the cusp of a continuation to upside. All right, UPB here. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to head to the chat room. It's about 25 minutes before the market is going to open. So we're getting a relief rally here for stocks. We're starting to get pretty oversold, even on a weekly and a monthly basis. And if you look, we've broken through long-term support. So we're in an interesting juncture here in the market. But I'm not sure how much more this selling is going to last. We'll keep an eye on today's action. We've seen the dips not get bought, and we're seeing the rips get sold. So the theme throughout the rally from the lows of March of 2009 has been buy the dip, buy the dip. I think in this instance, since hitting our record highs, it's been sell the rip, sell the rip. So once we start to see the themes change, we got to change. You can't fight this. Some of the shorts out there have been shorting this market for 6 years successfully in the biggest bull market of our entire lifetime and making money somehow. But for us mere mortals who actually have to trade the market the direction it's going to make money, when the direction of the market changes, we got to change with it. So we broke through support here. You have to be biased for selling stocks, going short or buying puts here until we see a reversal. All right, UPB here. Option millionaires. I'll be in the chat room. Everyone have a great Columbus Day. Goodbye.